And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Quivs here. Quivs does stuff. Hopefully everything is working. Looks like it is. Excellent. Yes, welcome to the Wild Update. I am, as per usual, late to the party. It's been out for more than 24 hours, almost a day and a half now. There's a good story behind it. I went looking, spent a long time looking for a good seed. Now I have found one. This is the seed. If you can see it in the tiny little box, let's bring that up large. You don't need to see me as much as you need to see the gameplay. Yeah, so the story behind the seed is basically the game came out at like 2 a.m. Where I live, so I wasn't really going to play at 2 a.m., spend a long time. I am going to enable some RTX, so yes, we've got that. I logged into the game and first thing in the morning, so I got up at about 8:30, spent about an hour doing my my Animal Crossing busy work, of all things. We're still going to go on easy. Oops, no. And let's call it Let's Play. And then, yeah, like 9:30 went straight into trying to find a decent seed to start with, because I hate it when you're playing Minecraft and you're just screwed for resources because you've spawned in a really horrible place. I was also kind of interested in getting the mangrove set up kind of close because, well, it's one of the newest things and frogs, and everyone wants to see them, although actually there's nothing in there that I really want. But oh well, at least they're there so that people can see them. And yeah, so I spent 3 hours trying seeds, all sorts of random words. I tried seeds that I found online and was like, oh, these seeds don't work. Why don't these seeds work? This is really weird. And then I just kept trying random seeds and random seeds and random seeds. And after 3 hours, I was like, oh, I've got to take a break. This is ridiculous. I still haven't found a good seed. I still haven't even seen a mangrove. And as I was exiting the game, I noticed that the game version was still 1.18. Something, 1.3. Anyway, apparently the game hadn't updated. So Java had updated, and I thought, do I just stream Java? But no, like RTX is sort of a thing. Like we always do RTX when I play Minecraft. And I couldn't work out why it hadn't updated for ages, and I tried uninstalling and reinstalling, and the installer just hung, like it didn't do anything. And then I was like, oh, why is the installer hung? And I tried restarting my computer and all sorts of things. Turns out, as of course, it is a Microsoft game. It requires the latest Windows updates. So I had to install the latest Windows updates, and then finally I got the installer going. Then I had a whole bunch of other stuff I had to do with my day, so I didn't really get back to it until about 5:38, somewhere between 5:30 and 8 o'clock. I remember looking at the clock at 5:30, and then I sat down at my computer and did some stuff. And then I remember looking at the clock at about 8 o'clock, and I'd already started looking for seeds, and then I spent the rest of the night looking for seeds, and really it took me hours and hours and hours. But I did eventually find a seed. This is it. It's not a great seed, but there is a mangrove close by. I also discovered that like the mangrove isn't that important. Like I said, there's nothing in there I want. But I wanted to show the frogs, so I thought I had to have a mangrove. But no, any swamp will do. Frogs spawn in swamps, not in mangroves, swamps. Mangrove is a subset of the swamp biome, but it's not the only one where frogs spawn. So I could have taken any seed where there was a swamp. Anyway, we've got one now. We're ready. We're good to go. Let's jump on in. That's an extremely long intro that didn't really need to happen. People like it when it's like 20 seconds to the thing that you want to do. But I had to explain it because Jeebus. And yeah, then it was just too late to stream. So I'm like, well, I can't stream now. I've got to, put this off until tomorrow. And then I had stuff to do this morning. And yeah, so it's like 12:30 in the afternoon. And I am only just now getting to stream in the Wild Update. Now, I have had a look at a few things in Creative, and I've played around with the Warden and so on and so forth. I haven't found one of his biomes naturally. Oh yes, there will be... No, there's nothing else running because I just restarted the computer before I did this. It should all be nice and clean. What I probably will have is like every game launcher under the sun loaded. So let's get rid of that. Goodbye Epic, goodbye Origin, goodbye GOG. We'll leave Steam. Steam's pretty light. or at least even if it's not light, it's the one that I use the most, so I tend to leave it up. Just struggled to get a decent seed. And this seed is okay. You start in the swamp. There's actually a witch's hut kind of nearby, which, you know, is a thing. Now, we've still got RTX on. It looks this pretty, which is nice. Up the top of this hill and over in one of these directions is actually a village as well, so that's kind of nice. At least there's that close by. But we're not going to be worried with that straight away. We are going to get started on making sure that our survival is assured, because dying defeats the purpose. It's not how Minecraft works. The whole idea is it's a survival game, and survival starts with not being dead. Sort of by definition, pretty much. Ah, man. Alright, well, I need one block of dirt to break this tree, to not leave a floating tree, because nobody likes floating trees. Don't leave floating trees. It's one of the tips, Minecraft loading tips these days. Don't leave floating trees. Nobody likes floating trees. So let's just grab a little bit of dirt, so that I've got something to climb on that isn't wood that I then have to break again. And yeah, we'll just punch it, because there we go. Cool. So, my standard house. Now, if you'd like to see how I build my standard house, there are tutorials on this channel that you can. There's a frog already. See, and I went looking, spent ages looking for frogs, and there's a frog. Not much I can do to interact with him at the moment because I don't have any slime balls, but yeah, if you had slime balls, you could breed them and so on and so forth, and occasionally there will be tadpoles and yeah, frogs. Frogs! Right. So we'll begin construction of a house, which means I need to dig down into the ground. There's a lot of cave systems around here as well, some of them pretty extensive. We'll see whether I end up accidentally digging into one or not. Did not build a pickaxe yet. Oh, I've got enough. Go. Alright. Mine the 3 blocks, and then I can immediately convert that into a wooden one. Stone one, I should say. I don't know if this music is super loud. I feel like this music is super loud. It's super loud in my ears. So let's turn that down a bit, because we really don't need the music to be so aggressively loud. A bit of Minecraft music is okay, but you know, there are limitations here. Don't need it to blast us quite so thoroughly. But yeah, so we're going to be starting a brand new survival world. We're going to be surviving as survival goes. Hopefully we will be able to progress far enough into the game. Now, I did do a few other things to check in this world. I went into the Nether, and I could not find a Nether fortress. So once again, we might be struggling when we actually get to that point of the game where you're looking for your first Nether fortress. No big surprise there. Nether fortresses are horrible now. They're so hard to find. And I should have done it before I started the stream, and was going to do it. But I didn't look up if there's any other way to obtain blaze powder. If there isn't, come on, Mojang. We really need another way to obtain blaze powder. If you're going to make the Nether fortresses... Well, the Nether itself is so much harder than it used to be. And then the Nether fortresses are so much rarer than they used to be. And then you make, like, the only way to get brewing done, blaze powder, and, like, almost no way of getting blaze powder without finding another fortress. I'm saying almost no way. It wouldn't surprise me at all if there is no way, but I'm also, like, wondering, do maybe clerics sell it if you've got a villager? A cleric villager? He's not really clerical. He's a cleric, which is a kind of priest rather than a kind of pencil pusher. Yeah, it's just, come on. There's got to be another way, and they're not giving it to us. There's no other way that I'm aware of getting blaze powder, and that's super, super annoying. All right, we need some charcoal because I'm not getting anything else going here. Let's, stick. Take 2 sticks to get 1 charcoal. Possibly takes 3 sticks by the looks of this. No, 2 sticks. I'm definitely going to need more wood as well, so let us get one of those. Did we get 1 charcoal? We did. Excellent. Right, I'm going to chop down this tree. Yeah, gotta love that RTX. And the one next to it. Now, this RTX resource pack that I'm currently using has not been updated for the Wilds update yet. It would have been extremely impressive if it had already been updated. So the mangroves don't look as cool as everything else. The RTX still works. It just doesn't look as good. Basically. It's not horrible. It's just not great. And I guess we'll just keep working in the dark for a little bit. Yeah, so there's this weird thing about RTX on Minecraft in that it actually takes a finite amount of time for the light bounce to finish bouncing and to actually give you any indication of what the light bounce is going to look like. It's not instantaneous. So areas that are super dark to begin with, if you leave them for a little bit, some light might actually scatter down there into that darkened area, and it might brighten up a little bit after a while, but it's not instantaneous is the thing. So sometimes you'll be somewhere where it's super dark, and if you just wait a little bit, it'll get a little bit brighter and you can actually see what's going on. Oh, there's coal. Great. Oh, well. I'm going to dig all of that out because coal is good. Now, I have found that ever since Caves and Cliffs Update 2, it's been a lot harder to get a lot of things. I was going to say, did thingies grow on the back? And it did. Cool. Yeah, it's just been super hard to get some resources like iron. I've got less iron than I normally have as well, which is really strange because you don't normally have problems like that with iron, but yeah, just been having a lot of problems with iron. That will do for now. Why did I not get the last one? Oh, there it goes. Alright, I'm going to pick that up because I won't be using that again anytime soon, and I'm going to make another one of those because the one I've got is about to break. And I will make some more of those and one of those. And that will do for now, I think. Let's go over here and pick up any saplings, apples, and sticks that have dropped so far. Waste not, want not. And now I should be able to pick up my crafting table. Oh, I should have grabbed a door as well, but oh well, too late now. About here. Down 2, go there, down 2, go there, down 2, go there, down 2, go there, and then 1 here. We'll get all this coal, and then we'll build the entrance to my house. Pickaxe should break any second now. Copper. Yeah, so copper still doesn't have any major uses. You can make a lightning rod, but I don't know what that does. I don't think it does anything. I think it just, stops lightning from hitting other things and instead makes it go to ground. I don't know whether you can do anything else with it. I haven't looked into it. It is something that I should definitely look into at some point. Other parts of my spiel. If you guys are watching on Twitch, welcome. Thank you very much. This is the preferred platform for me. It's kind of better in certain ways. If you are watching on YouTube, welcome as well. There's nothing wrong with watching on YouTube, but I don't do chat on YouTube because it's just hard to get YouTube chat to show up on the stream. So if people watching on Twitch, like if you ask me a question and I respond, people watching on Twitch don't know what the question was unless I restate the question, which I can do, but rather than have to do that, I've just limited it to Twitch chat only. So if you'd like to find my Twitch channel, that's twitch.tv/Quivs_AU, because I'm the Australian Quivs, because there is an American Quivs as well. I think he's American, he might be from somewhere else, but there is a non-Australian Quivs. He uses the same name. I have no idea which one of us came up with it first. We've both been using it for over a decade. Well, not Quivs. I've told this story once before, I think in the last stream, in fact. But I used to be Quiver, and he used to be Quiver, and then when Zeds became really popular on the internet, I changed to Quivs, and then I went and looked at his channel, like, would have been more than a year later. I went to go and have a look, and he had also changed to Quivs at around the same time, so I have no idea which one of us came first and which one of us changed first, and you know what? It doesn't matter. Oh, that's zombies already. It doesn't look like it's dark enough for zombies, but 3 zombies have spawned. That's weird. So yeah, so there is another one. But yeah, so if you're on YouTube and you'd like to join in the chat and ask questions directly while I'm streaming, then yeah, jump on over to Twitch and you'll be able to do that, no problems. It's not like Twitch is a bad platform either. I mean, I don't really want to plug them because, again, it's one of those billionaires things. Who is it? Someone who just got supposedly screwed over because they advertised so many users and it turns out that a big percentage of those users are actually bots, and now he's upset. Yeah, you should have known, to be honest. It was relatively obvious. Or was that Twitter? That might have been Twitter rather than Twitch. Is it the guy that owns Twitch? Amazon? Is that Bezos? Anyway, look, for me it's a great platform because I'm not... I mean, ideally I wouldn't mind getting paid to do this as well, but I'm doing this whether I get paid or not. So other than that, if you ignore the fact that other people are complaining about the pay scheme and how the amount of money that they get just went down recently, other than that, it's a great platform, one that I'm extremely happy with. So, right, how much wood do I have? Enough to see me through. So I think we'll go food first, and we'll do trees second. All right, so a few other things. I play on easy because it's just so annoying having zombies break down your door. I don't want to have to deal with it. I really wish Mojang would make something like a reinforced door, because the whole thing is I want a door that I can just click and it opens, and I click it and it closes. I don't want to have to deal with buttons and switches and redstone. I just want a door, damn it. But if you make a wooden door, which is the one that you can just click and it opens and closes, then zombies can break it down. Now, people will go, oh, they can't break it down on normal. Not initially they can't, but later on in the game they can. As your game stage progresses, you'll eventually get to the point where zombies can break down your door. They'll have a percentage chance of having the ability to hit hard enough to break down your door because of some sort of local clamped difficulty. That's a drowned. There must be water near here. Yeah, I was doing some research and I discovered that yes, there is a way for zombies to break down your door, even on normal, even though on default normal, like at first, there's no way for them to do it. There is eventually a way for them to do it. So yeah, I'd really wish Mojang would make something like a reinforced door that is still a door that doesn't require a switch, but like is maybe expensive, like, I don't know, like requires a full block of iron or something stupid. I don't know. That seems excessive, but yeah, just some sort of door that's still a door that I can just right click on to open, but that zombies can't break. That maybe, you know, you have to progress into the game further before you actually have access to it. Like it's not immediate. I will. No, I won't. Normally I burn these and get 1 or 2 more pieces of charcoal, but I kind of need the wood more than I need anything else at the moment, so I'm going to keep that. Well, definitely will need a couple more of those. But yeah, so that's the reason why I play on easy. Literally just because the door annoys the hell out of me that much. There's nothing else about normal or... I mean, hard's pretty hard. I probably wouldn't play on hard for fun. I'd play on hard for a challenge. Maybe not hardcore. I don't think I've ever played any game on hardcore. Except maybe some Diablo back in the day. And even that, like, I didn't spend a long time doing it. I was just like, let's give this a go. And then I got really far and then I died and my character was kaput. And then I was like, okay, that wasn't that fun. Great for a challenge, not as good for enjoyment. So yeah, I probably wouldn't play on hard for enjoyment, but for a challenge I would. I'd play on normal for enjoyment if the door thing didn't annoy me that much. And it really is that much, like it really annoys me. Every time I've played on normal or played on other people's servers and it's set on normal, or even my own server and everyone else wanted it to be normal and I'm like, okay, it's my server, but, you know, I will... Oh, there's a slime up there. So he'll stick around and then we can break him down into little slimes and see if I can get the frogs to eat him. Just because... yeah. So, literally one thing. The door annoys me enough that I don't play on normal because it's... I want a door that I'm not going to come back and find that it's broken and there's zombies walking around my house. And at the same time, I want a door that I can just right-click to open. What else was there? Oh, yes. So I was also reading some of the updates. So I never read the actual patch notes for Caves and Cliffs Update 2. Or Caves and Cliffs Update. I don't know what the thing is, but anyway. So something amusing that I discovered was that for a long time, when I make a 9x9 room, there's normally torches in the ceiling, and there should be one here. Because of the light level in the middle of the room was low enough for zombies to spawn. As of Caves and Cliffs Update, so there was the Caves and Cliffs Update, and there was the update to the Caves and Cliffs Update. Caves and Cliffs Part 2. I don't know what to call it. It's a thing. There's an official name, and I don't know what it is. Mobs, aggressive mobs, can only spawn at light level 0. It used to be at like 6 or 7. So the middle of my 9x9 rooms used to have a light level low enough, but now, because it's not light level 0 in the middle of the room, it's actually bright enough to prevent their spawn. So I don't need to do that roof thing anymore. I don't need to. There's a very good chance I still will, because it's still aesthetically pleasing to actually have the little ceiling rows and have it be a bit better lit than that. But yeah, unnecessary now. Whereas before it was actually necessary because the light level in the middle of the room was low enough to let mobs spawn in the middle of the room, which was, you know, just not what you want. So that came about because Caves and Cliffs, like the caves are extensive and you don't want to have to use like 4 torches every 5 blocks in a cave to make sure that mobs don't spawn continuously around you while you're exploring the cave. So they made it that mobs can only spawn on light level 0, so you need a lot less torches to explore a cave and keep it safe when you backtrace. Ah, good. My coffee still has some warmth in it. That's very abnormal for me. Now, I have not found any... Oh, no, I don't normally dig that one out in the first place. Haven't found any iron. That is problematic, because you can't really get farming going without water, which means I need at least 3 iron to make a bucket. But that's alright. We'll do some more digging. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get some iron eventually. I also normally like shears, because then I can shear a sheep rather than kill the sheep for wool. But we'll see. I know there's a village nearby, and I know there's some wool in that village, like that from things that... just structures in the village that are made of wool. So if we have to, we might go over there to get enough wool for a bed. I don't want to have to deal with phantoms if I don't have to. I also would really like to reset my spawn point, although I'm like on the spawn point practically, so probably not that big a deal today, but we'll see. But yeah, this will be the initial 8x8 wheat farm, which adds up to 64 for those of you who can count. Still can't see. I can still hear zombies, but I don't know if that's drowned or if that's Nope, that must be just drowned because the sun's out. So we should be alright to build the stairs. Didn't even realize that was gravel. We'll have to get rid of that in a bit as well. I might get a flint out of that for our first flint and steel. I am enjoying the new microphone. It's nice to... It takes up less space on my desk. Like, before, literally, I had... Where's that drowned? Dude, you're not even underwater. That's cheating. Do they give you anything good? Sometimes you get a trident. He's not even trying to get to me. That's really weird. I'm not even using a sword because I don't have to. There are more zombies here? I didn't even see you. That's that RTX, the way the light actually bends in water like it should. Now, sorry sheep. Oh, one. That's disappointing. Alright, the light is up. The sun is up, that is. I'm going to grab a little bit more wood. Go through a substantial amount of wood trying to build a tree farm. It's pretty big. And then I'm going to find another sheep. Hopefully this one will drop 2 wool and then I won't have to go and find... No. I'm going to have to find a 3rd sheep. That's not going to be easy. There's a pig. Yeah, there's that village. We could go over to the village and just grab like 1 wool. Wouldn't take us that long. I've got nothing to dye it with, so it'd have to actually be white wool as well. Because that's always annoying when you've got no dyes yet, like that you can't find any flowers and you've got no bone meal and you're like, well, I need this to be white or I need this to all be the same color. I've got 3 wool, but they're all different colors. What do I do? And yeah, then you have to like go searching for flowers to make dye or something. Okay, well there's some flowers, so if I really have to, I can make white dye that there. Cool horse. Or we'll just kill the sheep. Sorry. Cool, and back home. Alright, home is going to be hard to find. There's no real major markers. We're at the bottom of that hill. It's in the swamp. We'll get used to it. I mean, the more you play your map, the more you get used to where the landmarks are. And it's like, oh yeah, I know where I am. And then you can just get home. But yeah, not always. There's a nice cliff face there. I think that leads into a big... I think there's a big cavern underneath this lake. So we'll need, what's-his-face? Underwater breathing to actually get down into it. Oh no, there it goes. It goes down that hole there. But yeah, I was hoping there was maybe just going to be some visible iron there, but no, I think that's too high. Okay, this is our house. Let's put a basic... This is going to hurt. But oh well. Cool. Right, I'm going to need... Don't really, because it's not like using a hoe actually gives you any better chance of getting seeds. Oh, might as well do this while I'm here. It's just kind of my preferred tool. If I'm up to gathering a few seeds to start some actual farm. Which will have to be a unwatered farm to begin with, which is going to make it grow really slowly because we haven't found any iron yet, but that's alright. We can get to that later. I mean, there's mushrooms here. I could totally just grab some mushrooms and eat mushroom stew for a while, but we'll survive. We should be fine. Won't take us that long. Yeah, that's plenty. Won't take us that long to get far enough that we've got, you know, some bread. Bread. Not the greatest of food sources. I believe cooked steak still has that accolade. Or pumpkins. Again, we'll also do that later. Don't really need to do it right now. Yeah, so no. So this will be 6 by 8 area because I can't put the water in until I've got a bucket, and I haven't got a bucket, and I want to put the water in. So we'll have to do this instead for now. Voila. Oh, for some reason that first one. Oh yeah, I think if it's not wet and it's not planted, it slowly reverts, doesn't it? I forgot about that. It's alright, we'll just plant them. Not that fast, so long as we've got something growing. It's beginning to grow. Alright, next thing's next. Tree farm, because we're going to need that wood. Oh yes, and a bed. It's actually more than I need, but I will. A bed. Excellent. And that will change our respawn point, which is fantastic. And I'll eventually have to make a chest or two because I'm going to get too much resources in my inventory, but that's alright. We'll get to that as well. Might not have got deep enough. So yeah, so you can see the RTX. If you just watch this, it'll slowly get a little bit brighter in there. It never gets fully bright, but it does get brighter. Because slowly the game calculates all the scattering effects from the light around the corner. And this area actually gets some light. But yeah, it's not instantaneous, which is kind of strange. Because that's not how light really works. But hey, it's a good simulation. I mean, that's the purpose of it, is it's a simulation of how light works. And that's what we never had before. Before we used shadow maps, which were essentially like a 2D drawing of what the shadow of something should look like most of the time. Or a projection, which was a projection. So if the light is behind an object, what silhouette does the object make? And that would create the lighting or the shadow for an object. And now, while we still do that, we also look at, okay, I'm standing here, the torch is projecting here, my shadow should be there. But that torch is also reflecting off this wall, which means that there's some light coming from that wall, which means I should have a smaller shadow here, and a smaller shadow that's even fainter here from that wall, and that's just from that one torch, let alone this torch, which is creating a shadow here and reflecting off that wall, which is creating shadows here, and so on and so forth. And that's what ray tracing did for us. It makes everything look gorgeous because the shadows, the effect of light is much more realistic than it ever was before. Quick tutorial there if you didn't actually know what ray tracing was all about and what you're missing out on if you don't have access to some form of ray tracing. Yeah, I was a relatively early adopter. This is a 2080 Super, so one of the first graphics cards to have ray tracing cores. Alright, that's gravel. I don't want that to be gravel. Once again, waiting for the light to actually make some damn calculations. Which it will eventually do, but it'll take some time to do it. Is that the top block? Oh, it is. Okay. There we go. Let's get rid of this excess gravel. I just don't like it. Don't want gravel in my walls. The main reason why I have such a big aversion to gravel is it's not very blast resistant if a creeper gets in here. And then you'll have to rebuild more of your area because of the damage that a creeper did. It's not that big of a deal, but again, I'm a little OCD about it. It's like, no, I want it away. I want it gone. So yeah, so I tend to remove all gravel. Not to mention, I mean, you've got to get rid of the gravel if you want any hope of ever getting a flint. But then again, I don't get rid of all of it. I just get rid of that of it which is visible and replace it with cobblestone. So no visible gravel is what I'm aiming for. That looks like it's not gravel. What about the one above? No, it's not gravel either. What about this one? Yeah, see, it's slowly rendered in there as the light scattering caught up. Right. So now this room is not 9 by 9. This room is 10 by 10, which is a little bit different. The space between the torches is 4 rather than 3. That is the room in which, the size of a room in which you can grow 4 oak trees, which is my preferred tree to grow because you can also try to get bees using oak trees. You can't do that with... I think you can do it with birch, and I think this room would work for birch as well. I haven't actually checked, but I'm pretty sure you can. But yeah, not all trees will produce beehives, and other trees, like, you also have problems with like how they grow, and yeah, it's just, I mean, oak trees can be annoying if you make the room too big, because then you can get a gnarled oak or whatever the name is, where like the branches go all over the place and it takes forever to get rid of. But if you keep the height lower, what is the height of my room? It's 9 or 10? I can't remember. I'll have to check. I know it instinctually. I don't know it by count. Might even be lower than that. Might be like 6 or 7. Might be 7. Anyway, that height room, there's no chance of an oak tree growing into one of the gnarled oaks that are so annoying and difficult to actually harvest without leaving floating bits. So once again, I've been doing things this way for ages. I established most of my Minecraft builds many years ago, and a lot of them have been unchanged because they never needed changing. Occasionally something has changed, and then I've had to actually change it. So when villages changed, I had to change my village mechanics. My villages used to be a 64 by 64 block of specific water that funneled down into a pit trap, and then all the villagers would be in a special building around the edges of that with a whole bunch of doors, because it used to be just doors that mattered. Beds weren't important, nor were job stations. And that would be my village, and the iron golems would always spawn in the middle in the water trap and then fall down into the pit and get killed, and then I'd have an infinite iron farm that was just free. I didn't have to do anything to use it. It was fantastic. And then they changed village mechanics, and that no longer works. So now I have to build a very different kind of iron farm when I make an iron farm. And I can't combine my iron farm with my actual village. So previously, that village that was also an iron golem farm was also a perfectly usable village. Like, you had access to every villager, you could talk to them, you could trade with them. They bred automatically on their own because there was food in there, so on and so forth. And now, of course, that's no longer a thing. So now I have to have a trading village, a village that's actually just full of villagers, specifically for the purposes of trading. And then I have to have an entirely different village that is just an iron farm. Of course, that village is 3 villagers and 1 zombie. And that zombie needs to be named with a name tag. Now, I'm trying to remember. How the hell do you get a name tag? Isn't that a special drop? It's really hard to get a name tag. I remember that. But I don't remember how you get a name tag. But I eventually get a name tag. I can't remember how you do it. I think you'd literally have to just continuously farm some sort of mob And basically I would just spend all night running around farming that mob, I think. I don't remember. But yeah, one very specific mob will drop a name tag, and then you can get a name tag, and you can name one zombie, which means he will not despawn. So I don't know. I used to call him Steve as a joke, because the main Minecraft character guy is Steve. So I used to call that zombie Steve. But I don't know. We'll come up with a special name. If you have a name for the zombie when we get him, leave them in the comments below. I'll put it all in a big randomizer wheel, and we'll see who wins. No prizes for the winner, I'm afraid, because I don't have that kind of money. This is not that kind of YouTube channel. I wish it was. It'd be really nice if I could have things for the audience. But yeah. But if you'd like to name the zombie when it comes around, leave a comment in any of the videos of this series. And when we get that far, you can name the zombie. Oh yeah, sleep. Otherwise we're going to get phantoms. Doop-doop-doop-boo. Oh, okay, yep, I do kind of need to... I've got plenty of coal. I need to make a few chests. Right. Any sort of block goes in there. I don't need those anymore, so we'll get rid of that. I would like a bit more of that because I'm going to make half slabs. Anything else goes in here. Could eat that mutton. So I'm missing like the tiniest little bit. I think I've got enough. I think it will take the 2 of these and I'll get 1 mutton out of it, which will suffice. Yep. Needed it. Wouldn't have gone without it. I might get 2. I might get 2. We'll see. Well, there we go. That will refill our hunger. What was I thinking of? Half slabs. I like to have some half slabs as well. And then any others goes in there. Excellent. Let's see. Did we get 2? We got 2. Cool. Which means I've got 1 more food if and when I need it. Right. This room is close to done. Or close to its first level. Excuse me, first level worth of done. Got a good amount of coal. I was pretty struggling for coal in my last survival world. Wasn't getting enough coal and was not getting enough iron. We're definitely not getting enough iron. I haven't seen any iron yet. But chances are I haven't actually gone down enough. There's a minimal level that you have to go down before you will find iron. So I might not even have hit that yet. We'll get to it eventually. Hopefully we'll find 3 iron, because I need 3 iron to get the farm going better. Because wet tilled soil does not revert to regular soil. Right, so now we just keep... Pardon me, I should really mute for that. We just keep digging out the base of this room. So other than the RTX patch, or resource pack, I should say, this is vanilla Minecraft. I don't do anything else. Okay, there's that, and there's the glowing ores, which makes the ores glow, which is a bit cheaty, because if you're in the dark, they are super easy to spot, because they're glowing in the dark. I do that because it looks cool, not because I need it. I would almost certainly find the ores anyway. Actually, no. With caves and cliffs, maybe it would be much harder to actually find certain ores, because you'd actually have to go over there and have a look. Whereas now you can sort of just spot them glowing in the dark, and it's like, oh, there's diamond over there. I should go over to that side of the cave. But hey, look, that's a minor thing. By comparison to some of the mods that some people use, like, I don't like Optifine. I think that's cheating. But a lot of people are like, oh, that's fine. I mean, it just zooms in. And I'm like, yeah, there's an item for that. And before there wasn't an item for that because you weren't supposed to be able to do it. Whereas you are changing the game to be able to do it. But hey, look, everybody enjoys the game their own way. I'm not going to go on about my aversion to changing games. I like to play games as they were intended. So very, very vanilla, which is it's just me. I play all my games like that. I've put, I don't know, hundreds of hours into Skyrim, and almost none of that is with mods. If I have had mods, they've always been cosmetic mods. There's always been things like, certain armors look horrible, or certain characters are just hideous. I remember once changing, I can't remember the name of the vampire follower, but when you do the vampire storyline, and you get, I think it's Selena. And yeah, I had a mod that made Selena look less blocky and hideous, and I was like, wow, that's actually pretty good. That's a much better looking Selena. I don't mind having her follow me around. Because literally, in my opinion, you might be of a different opinion, I would turn around and have Selena behind me and hit her a lot, because she was ugly enough that I was like, that's a monster. And it's not, it's just Selena. Poor Selena. She's a good follower too. It's a shame that when you finish the vampire quest, you have to give her up. But then again, what's her name? Lydia? I am sworn to carry your burdens. Yes, you are, Lydia, and thank you for that. Kit you out in steel armor as soon as possible and leave you at the door to every dungeon so you can carry all my burdens without me having to carry anything. And other than that, I don't use you for anything. I literally leave you at the entrance to a dungeon where you'll be safe, and dump inventory onto you, and then go back into the dungeon and then return to the door and dump more stuff. Sometimes I'll bring her in and I'll tell her to stay at the door. Like, I'll clear the entryway and then I'll bring her in and tell her to stay at the door. And then, like, as I clear more of the dungeon, I'll bring her forward and be like, all right, this is far enough. You can stay here. And I'll always make sure she's far enough away that if something aggro's on me or I aggro something, she won't get involved in the fight because she's too far away. Because I use her as a pack horse. I tended to, because it's easy, I tended to marry Lydia as well. It's just, well, she's there. She already likes me. I don't have to do anything. I need someone to take care of this house. I can't do it. I've got things to do. Lydia, marry me. Cool. Now take care of this house. I'm going to adopt some kids. They're your problem. So yeah, that was the way no, let's go and get those stairs again. That was the way I dealt with things in Skyrim. But yeah, no major mods. I never changed the actual gameplay because I prefer to play games the way the developers intended. I was, from a very young age, I started coding, like sort of late 90s was the first time I learned how to code back in BASIC, not even Visual Basic, actual DOS prompt BASIC. And I sort of, once I got my head around if then else and loops, which, you ask most coders and they're like, that's kind of almost all of that there is. Everything else is just fancy ways of doing that. But that's mostly what we do. And yeah, like I've done higher level coding now, and it's like, well, that's still what everything boils down to. Like, there are fancier ways of doing things, but at the end of the day, you could long-windedly still just do this with if then else statements and loops. Like, until this thing is this, do this if then else. And that will, you could make any game. It'd run like absolute poo because, there are better ways of doing things, but that's still what you're doing. And I've had a look at machine code as well. Machine code is much more complex. I can do it, but I cannot necessarily make it do anything worthwhile. Like, I understand how the variables are moved around and how mathematical operators are enacted upon them and so on and so forth. But I couldn't get my head around how that actually equates to producing something that makes any difference, like that actually matters. So yeah, but yeah, having understood coding enough, I'm like, you know what? I really appreciate that some guy had a vision and wanted to make a video game and was passionate enough to go through all the crap that you have to go through to make a computer represent this completely false world, that I will play it the way you intended it, and mods be damned. So yeah, I don't really do mods. Just not my thing. But I do get it. Like, there have been plenty of games that I've seen where it's been like, that really needs a mod. Like, that's just a horrible way to play the game. Like, what designer thought that was better? But I don't really tend to play those games. In fact, those games where like a mod is required to make the game more playable. Now, I'm not talking about fan patches when oh hell, that was an unexpected development. I wonder if drowned can spawn down there. There's some ores down there. Yes, they can. It's a good thing this is actually the floor level. Like, I wasn't going any deeper than this to begin with. But hell, that was a surprise. That was an unexpected... Wow. Just fall in a hole. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so there was... I can't even remember what game it was, but I can just remember playing some game and I'm like, this game needs a mod to be playable. And then I just instead never played that game. I was like, well, I give up on this then. If I can't play it the way it was intended, and if the way it was intended was stupid, then why play it? Now, there are games that are super hard and they're meant to be super hard, and I will play them, and I might not play them because they're super hard, but I won't go modding them to make them easier just to play them. It's probably why I'm not a big fan of any of the Souls series. Like, those of you that follow the channel know I played Elden Ring for 10-ish, 12-ish hours. I bought it because I like From Software and I really want them to make another Tenchu, not another Sekiro, although it wouldn't surprise me if we just get Sekiros from now on. But I would really like to see another actual Tenchu, an actual proper, it's just about the stealth game, because that's what was cool about Tenchu. Although Tenchu have the exact same combat mechanics as all the Souls games anyway, so if you've played a Souls game and then you get to a boss or you screw up your stealth and you actually have to fight something in Tenchu, you will find the combat extremely familiar because it is basically the same thing. And that shouldn't be remotely surprising. They're From Software games. They're made by From Software. The first technical Souls game, which was not Dark Souls 1, but some other game, I forget. It was punishingly hard and everyone complained about it and was like, this is unplayable, blah, 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 blah. And then some people kept playing it until they were good at it, and it's just like, nah, you're bad, get good. Yeah, there was... Just dumped all my dirt. I forget the name of it, but yeah, there was one that came before that. And then Tenchu came after that, and then Dark Souls arrived. So, I used to say that Dark Souls is just like Tenchu as where it started, and all you Dark Souls people are just entirely unaware that you owe your favorite Dark Souls game to Tenchu. No, there was a game that came before that, but there was that, and then there was Tenchu. And like Tenchu sort of did the stealth thing, and so yeah, anyway, look. There was Dark Souls and then there was Tenchu. And I prefer Tenchu. And From Software makes it, and if From Software doesn't make any money, there will never be another Tenchu. Or it's highly unlikely there will ever be another Tenchu if From Software doesn't make any money. And hey, it's not like they don't make enough money. So do I really need to support them by buying Elden Ring, which I will never play? And especially supporting George R.R. Martin, which... How much input did he really have? That really looks like every other Dark Souls game I've ever played. It looks nothing like anything that I've ever seen George R.R. Martin write. And I am extremely pissed off at George R.R. Martin because I was really enjoying the books, damn it. And he never finished the series. So yeah, there's that. Right, so we have not found any iron. That's very annoying. But we now have a tree farm, so I have infinite trees, which is always nice. So we will finish clearing out these rooms. Turn them into the 9x9 rooms they are supposed to be. And then we will begin digging to the bottom of the map, which hopefully won't end up in that cavern of water that I found just underneath my house, because that'd be really annoying. Because then I'll have to spend ages making it waterproof, and yeah. We want to get deep so I can get those diamonds nice and early. What else was I ranting about today? Oh yeah, the lack of blaze powder. Brewing is so hard because you have to have blaze powder. Like, getting a brewing stand these days is super easy. Walk over to a village and you can get a brewing stand 9 out of 10. In fact, having explored the nearby village in creative mode, I happen to know there's 3 brewing stands in that village. But getting blaze powder, how do you get blaze powder without finding a nether fortress, which is the hardest thing to find, in the nether, which is super hard? That's like, why compound it like that? It's brewing. It's not like, you know, it's not... I mean, finding the stronghold, like, that's still gated really hard. Like, getting enough ender pearls to find the stronghold and then still actually opening up the gate to the nether. What the hell is the dragon's place called? The end. Getting the enough stuff together to actually get to the end. Super hard. And should be, because that's the end game. Brewing is not the end game. And yet it is as hard, if not harder, than the end game. Harder, because there's no way... There's no ender pearl... what is it? Eye of Ender? That will help you find a nether fortress. You can't go into the nether and throw something in the air and have it point you in the right direction, and then go in that direction and find the damn nether fortress. You just have to stumble across one. And they are now so rare and so far apart that the chance of you stumbling across one is minuscule, and the nether is so much harder that you have to spend time in there. And then, like, you go on forums and you look it up and people are like, oh, you just use potions and stuff to help you get through. And it's like, I don't have potions. I have to go into the nether to find a nether fortress to get blaze powder to make potions. How do I make potions before I've got the ability to make potions? So yeah, nether, too hard. Not that the nether's too hard. Brewing has been gated now in a difficult way. There needs to be an easier way to get hold of blaze powder. Now, having said that, the big caveat is I haven't gotten around to looking up if there is any other way of getting blaze powder, and it wouldn't surprise me if you can get it off clerics. Because like the other one was, yeah, you need a blaze rod to get blaze powder, and the only places you could get blaze rods, at least the last time I looked, it's been some time, was in the nether fortress from blazes, or in chests in the nether fortress which might contain a blaze rod. So it's like, well, you need to find a fortress then, regardless, don't you? So if you don't find a fortress, well, you're not going to get any blaze powder, are you? So yeah, brewing, too hard. And like, I'm very dependent on villages. My playstyle, I need a village. And a natural village, probably not going to do me. Because it's too hard to defend. Like, you have to spend so long modifying it to make it properly defendable. I prefer to just make a unnatural village and use that. I can make it very defensible and you know, have just the occupations that I need in there. So I tend to do that. But to do that, I need brewing because I need that potion of weakness. Without the splash potion of weakness, I can't do it. That being said, is there another way of obtaining a splash potion of weakness? That's the other thing. It's got to be a splash potion. It's not like I can feed a zombie a drinkable potion, because I don't think they drink it. Unless I'm wrong about that too. But I'm pretty sure that if you throw a drinkable potion at a zombie, he just picks it up and carries it around. He never actually drinks the damn thing. That'd be pretty cool if you could just throw potions at zombies and they just drank him because they were dumb. Just throw a bottle of poison at him and have him drink it. Like, here, you want this. And yeah, he just drinks it and dies. But no, yeah, so there's no way to... you've got to get that splash potion of weakness. It's the only way to convert those zombie villages into villages. And yeah, like I said, with my particular playstyle, I got to have that village. I just need it. It's also way better than spending all your diamond on diamond tools. Like the few bits of diamond that you do find. Like, I tend to trade with villagers until I get villagers that'll give me diamond tools and diamond armor. And then I'm like, well, now I don't need diamonds anymore because I can just trade emeralds for it. And yeah, emeralds being an infinite resource because you can trade villagers for emeralds. Yeah, it's just, it annoys me that they made brewing so difficult. And just brewing. Like, the nether is hard, fair enough. The nether should probably be really hard. But it shouldn't be that the nether is super hard and there's a thing that you can only get in the nether that is now so rare that it's harder to do than to find the stronghold, which is the end game of the game. Like, I can literally go and hang around in the nether, wait for an enderman to spawn, look him in the eye, and then go into my house and have the enderman come and find me and fight him. And every now and again, I'll get an ender pearl, and then I can convert those. No, I can't even convert those to Eyes of Ender, because don't they use blaze powder? Ah, come on! Well, maybe that's why they did it, because that's the only way to find the stronghold. Ah, damn it! I completely forgot about the damn ender pearl needing blaze powder to become an Eye of Ender. Ah... I hate you, Mojang. I hate you. No, I don't hate you. I'm relatively happy with Microsoft. That it was highly likely that when they bought this game, it was just going to become a horrible... what's the word I'm looking for? What is the word I'm looking for? Capitalist mess. And it didn't. It still seems to be more about the game and about the people who play the game than it is about Microsoft making money. I'm sure they've made money on this one. Don't get me wrong. Minecraft is prolific. But I've seen games... Well, let's... Not to put too fine a point on it, but let's point at Electronic Arts. Now, there are still Electronic Arts things that I like. I'm still a fan of The Sims. I still play The Sims. I buy the occasional expansion pack when they're on special. That's why, like I said, I had Origin open, because there's still Electronic Arts games I play. But yeah, they are very capitalist, and everyone's very capitalist these days. I mean, Cyberpunk was ruined by capitalism. It's slowly getting to where it should be, and it'll never be the game it was meant to be. It never will. We'll have to wait for Cyberpunk 2087, whatever the next one is called. But we'll have to wait for that one before we get a Cyberpunk that Cyberpunk was meant to be. See? Tree. Free wood. never need to go under the surface ever again. I've got wood and I've got food, although the food is going to be very slow if I don't find this iron soon. I don't need to be digging out these rooms. I'll tell you what, we'll start heading downwards. So the next thing I normally do is dig out a 9x9 room here. Might fly my drone today as well. I was just looking at the preview feed and spotted my crafting desk behind me, on which sits most of my drone gear. My drone was actually out of commission for a while. The power, the tail that connects to the battery, disconnected during a hard crash recently. So I had to resolder it back on. But the first time I resoldered it back on, like, there's a land, I think they're called, on a PCB, a land. Just a little connection bit. And it was actually a drilled through hole initially. But when I took the old power connector pigtail off, which is just, a pigtail is just 2 wires to a connector. When I took the old 2 wires off, I couldn't get the negative land to actually have the solder come out of it. So I couldn't get the hole back. Oh, I didn't need to build another one. I had another one. So instead I just soldered it atop it, across it, rather than actually putting the conductor into the hole and then soldering it in place with it in the hole. I could do that with a positive terminal, which is great. So the positive terminal is really secure, but I couldn't do it with a negative terminal. So every now and again, the damn negative terminal breaks again, which is annoying the hell out of me. And I thought it was, I mean, it might still be due to the soldering iron I'm using. Like, it just doesn't get hot enough, I think. Because when you solder to a negative terminal on a lot of boards, all the negative terminals on the boards are all connected as one, which means that the amount of heat required to actually heat that up to a level where it will take solder is a lot. And I think that 30 watts is not enough power to heat up this tiny PCB. And it's a tiny little PCB. I really thought it'd be enough, but yeah, I've been struggling. But anyway, so, you know, I fixed it once and then I broke it again, and I yesterday fixed it again and made sure that it was working, but I haven't had a chance to fly it yet. So I do want to actually spend some time flying my drone, because I'm never going to get better if I don't spend time flying the drone. And I really would like to be better at flying drones. They're fun. It's an awesome feeling. If anybody's watched the new Top Gun and you want that feeling, there's flight simulators. I've heard good things about Microsoft Flight Simulators, Top Gun DLC, to be honest. And then there's getting yourself a drone. Now, a drone doesn't handle like a plane, although actually you can get first-person view planes as well. And they would be the exact same, to be honest, if you got one powerful enough. But yeah, like these drones, if you want that feeling of coolness where you just did a cool sick loop around some twisty turny stuff and like flew through some really tight gaps and, you know, turned your drone sideways to fit through a cool gap, you get that feeling, but it doesn't handle like a plane. So if you do, for example, turn it sideways to fit through a gap, you actually can't throttle through the gap. You have to drop all throttle, because a drone always throttles upwards. So if you roll it over on its side and hit the throttle, the drone is just going to go. So if you roll over on its side, the drone's going to go that way when you hit the throttle. It's not going to go forwards like a plane would. Yeah, there's differences to how they fly. But the fact that it's first-person view and you're looking at it from what would be the cockpit, if the drone was big enough to have a cockpit, is what makes it awesome. It's so fun. You fly through gaps and do loops and roll it around, and yeah, it's amazing fun. It's far more fun than it looks. The video footage that people can put up, and you'll find lots of that on this channel. Once again, plug in my own channel. what everyone says you're supposed to do on a YouTube channel. I try not to do it. I try to plug other people. But yeah, if you want to see some drone footage, you can find drone footage on my channel. Or you know what? I'm going to plug someone else. The guy I like the most, look up Nick Burns and then put in FPV in case there are other Nick Burns. Spelt like you would expect it, N-I-C-K, and Burns, B-U-R-N-S. He's great. He's not the biggest name in first-person view, but he's pretty good. And like, he's, in my opinion, one of the best guys to watch because he's really honest. He's professional enough, but he's much more just friendly, and he wants other people to enjoy the hobby more than he wants you to click on his stuff so that he gets views and money from it. I think the dude has a day job. Like, that's what Nick Burns is about, is that, yeah, he does this YouTube stuff, but he's got another job, and that's what pays his bills. The YouTube stuff is for fun. Like me, I've got another job. It pays my bills. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing this YouTube stuff because I play a crap load of video games, and I would like to share that with more people. Right, so another 9x9 room. Now, this is where one of my previous Let's Play series died, because that was a Let's Play series plus tutorials series, as I wanted to do tutorials for everything that I do as well. And I started making my passive mob spawner. Not a passive mob spawner, but a passive mob spawner. So it's for spawning aggressive mobs passively. And it doesn't work in Bedrock. So the spawning rules for Bedrock are such that that design, which again, I've been using for years, since before the witch was a thing. That's normally my time frame, as well, as I always say, from before the witch was a thing, because that's the only thing I know, is that I've been playing Minecraft since before the witch was a thing, and I know I was already using this spawner from before the witch was a thing. So I tried to make a tutorial for that, and then it didn't work, and I was like, why isn't this spawner working, and blah, 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 blah. And then I discovered that, yeah, in Bedrock, mobs spawn differently, so that spawner literally just does not work. And I was kind of annoyed at that. There's nothing I can do about it. Right. So now we'll make... Before Caves and Cliffs, this would just be a staircase to the very, very bottom of the map. And we'd stop at about level 12, because level 12 is where you'd get lava pools. But you'd also get diamonds that low. I think it was level 12. I don't remember. Was it 7? Anyway. And then, yeah, we'd dig these tunnels that would basically give us the best chance of finding as many diamonds as possible. And then we'd go and get our diamonds and then progress from there. But in Caves and Cliffs, I tend to dig this, and then eventually what happens is I run into a big cave, and then I just explore the cave. So yeah, that's what happens in this iteration of the game. But still, you know, it achieves the same goal. By exploring those caves, the whole idea is to find diamonds. And other cool resources, like dripstone. Like, there's a lot of cool things you can do with dripstone, and I never get lucky enough to find a damn dripstone cave. Maybe we'll get lucky this time. I haven't explored that much in creative. Like, I normally, before I make a seed for a survival world, I like to explore it a little bit in creative and go, all right, this is going to be a problem later, this is going to be a problem later, or this seed is no good because you just don't have any of that. So why play this seed at all? Because that's going to be completely and utterly useless. Like that, you can have some horrible starting spots in Minecraft. You can just get a horrible spawn and be like, well, I don't want to play this one because this is just crud. Like, I'm never gonna progress in the game because I'm so stuck for a particular resource, or I have to go so far to get that resource. It's not worth it. It's just so difficult that I don't want to play this any further. What? Did that twice. That was weird. So yeah, so I tend to use creative to actually, hey, some iron. Woohoo! Please be 3 iron. Well. Yeah, so I tend to use creative to actually check out a seed and make sure that, at least I can get going. Maybe some of the other future parts of the game are really hard, like the Nether Fortress, which means there might be an epic series of videos where I spend forever trying to find a Nether Fortress and then finally do, and then it's a big celebration. Which is... That's not great content. I've got to tell you, that's horrible. Like, if I was actually watching someone play Minecraft and, like, for 4 episodes, and my episodes are like an hour to 2 hours long anyway. We've already passed the hour mark. I'll probably go for maybe 2. We'll see how we go. Depends how I feel. It might go really long. Yeah, like that's not great content. You're not going to keep people entertained. I mean, it's already not great content because, like I said, I go for like an hour to 2 hours, which is way longer than YouTube would recommend a YouTube video be, because you're not going to keep people engaged for that long. Like, you have to be epic to keep people engaged for that long. Most people don't watch videos that long. Like, people, unless the movie is exceptional, people start getting bored in movies at about that point. You have to continuously do things to keep them engaged. Like, if you had a movie that progressed at the pace of someone's real life, people would be bored. Nobody would watch movies. We'd just be like, I don't want to watch that. It's just what I could be doing that at home right now. Why would I watch someone else do it? Which is why movies have to have exciting spectacles and drama and so on and so forth. Because otherwise no one would watch the bloody things. The same goes for a YouTube video. But again, I've stated many, many times, if I could be making money off this, that'd be great, but it's not the purpose. The purpose is I'm playing the game anyway, and I like to talk. I am one of those people that talks a lot, which is really weird because I'm an introvert as well. Like, I tend not to spend a lot of time around people. If I go out, that's me for like months. It's like, yeah, I went out 3 months ago. What are you talking about? No, I'm not going out this weekend. It's really hard growing up as well because I wasn't aware that it was a thing. I just thought I was weird. Introverts unite. It's really hard, isn't it? Really would have been nice if there were more people to tell you, oh yeah, that's just an introverted thing. You're just an introvert. You should just be aware that that's part of you and get on with it. And I'd be like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. And yeah, it's really funny as well because introverts, in many, many fields, introverts tend to make the best workers. And in all of those fields, they spent the last however many ridiculous number of years making... And they tend to be a kind of office job. And they spent all their time making the offices more open plan and open to socialization and making it easier for people to talk to each other, which is the exact opposite of what an introvert wants because he can't get on with his job when people are hassling him all the freaking time. And trying to talk to him, or her, as the case may be. And it's like, well, you just spent all your time making it worse for the people who are really, really good at this job naturally. Why did you do that? Why did you spend all your time making it inaccessible to the best possible worker for this position? Not inaccessible, but less accessible. Less enjoyable. But yeah, that's the weird thing about introverts, is that sometimes they feel like being extroverted for a little bit. But it's not a permanent thing, and it doesn't last forever. And once you've done it, you need a really long time to recover from having done it. Okay, there's a creeper down there. Some skeletons. I don't really want any of that, thank you very much. I think we'll just return to going looking for iron. But yes, I am also an introvert, so it's really weird that I would be comfortable putting myself out on YouTube regularly talking like this. But I am. I tried it. And initially I just put my gameplay on YouTube, like I was just playing. I didn't have a microphone or anything, and I just played games. There we go. That's 3 iron. Excellent. And more. Gotta love it. And you gotta love this glowing ore patch. Doesn't it look pretty? With RTX on. Oh, wow, that's a decent chunk. Cool nanas. But yeah, as an introvert, I was, I just gave it a go. I don't know. I don't even remember what encouraged me to try it. In fact, I think all it was I found something. Oh, I found that the Microsoft Game Bar, which I had installed because I was playing something that was Microsoft, and it was like, you kind of need the Game Bar, otherwise the game doesn't run properly. Might have been State of Decay. Anyway. Yeah, I just had the Game Bar and that could record stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll record some of this and then I'll upload it to YouTube. Like the very, 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 very first videos on my channel, which I'm somewhat embarrassed about, are from like 2006 or something crazy. And basically what they were was I don't do it that much on this channel anymore, but I do draw a lot. And I had a graphics tablet and I wanted to do some drawing stuff. And I did, and I uploaded them to YouTube for whatever bloody reason. I don't even remember. And I used Hypercam, a free piece of software that would record your screen. And yeah, those are the very, 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 very first videos on this channel. And they are extremely old. And I have not deleted them because, wow, I cannot believe that those videos even exist, let alone that they were the first videos that I put on this channel. But they're there. You can check them out if you want to, but I don't recommend it. They're horrible quality, and my drawing has not progressed as much as I would like. I have been spending more time doing that recently, like actively trying to draw better, and using things that are designed to help you improve drawing. I say things, basically other YouTube channels again. So there's a fellow called Mark Burnett, and he used to be one of the artists for Blizzard, and now he does a whole bunch of YouTube stuff, and they are excellent. They are really, really good tutorials for free. He also runs a paid course, which I have no idea the quality of that, but if you are looking for a paid course, this guy's free stuff is so good, I would say that his paid stuff has to be pretty exceptional. So at least check out Mark Burnett, M-A-R-C, not K, B-U-R-N-E-T, might be double T. Yeah, I've been learning a lot of things off him just recently, and I've spent more time on my graphics tablet, and I was stuck for years. I hadn't progressed. I'd just been drawing the same for years, and I wasn't getting any better, and I wasn't getting any worse, but it's not like I'm at the level that I'd like to be at. I'd like to be a much better artist than I currently am. Whoops, that was a mistake. Oh well. But Mark Burnett's tutorials has got me actually beginning to progress again for the first time in, God, it's got to be decades. It's got to be 10 years, maybe not decades, but at least a decade. Maybe 15 years. So kudos to Mark Burnett, and check his channel out because it is exceptional if you want to learn to draw. Even if you want to learn to draw and you have no skill, that's how good this guy's tutorials are. There are tutorials from level 0. It's like, yep, you don't know what you're doing at all. And don't think that you need natural talent. That's a load of crap. I do not have natural talent. My drawing skill comes from persistence. Everything I've learned to draw comes from persisting in drawing over and over and over again. It does not come from natural talent. Natural talent helps, don't get me wrong. You will progress a lot faster if you have natural talent. But without natural talent, you can still get there. If you want to, devote yourself to it, like don't half-ass it, like actually try really hard, and you'll get there. Follow tutorials. Don't think, it's not just about grinding away with no aim, with no goal in mind. No, follow tutorials. Everyone else that's better than you has been there and done that, and they will help you because we live in a much more altruistic society than we used to. People don't keep that stuff like that to themselves anymore. Also, a lot of artists, just like a lot of IT guys, will tell you, you don't need a degree, but it's not like the degree doesn't help. So if you're doing art at university or at college, don't give up. It's good. It's still really good. But if you're not doing it at college and you wish you were at that level, damn it, I keep forgetting to hang around long enough to pick up the saplings. If you're not at that level, don't think that you have to go to university or college to get to that level. You can do just as well, and you can get just as good a job without ever having been to any professional or formalized education. But if you're busy getting the formalized education, if you're already there, don't stop, because it's great. There are things that you will, especially professional skills. What you won't get doing it on your own is the business savvy as well. Whereas if you do it with, a lecturer or something, they will teach you about, all right, this is the business side of it. This is what you have to do to succeed commercially, as well as to just succeed creatively. Almost said creatively. Oh, man. Kind of awkward that the trees are growing at the rate that they're growing now. Oh, no, that wasn't a... All right. I want to hang around to get the saplings this time. I think it's night, so we'll sleep. But yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of other people out there that are really, really great artists and really do really great tutorials, but Mark Burnett is the one that I've currently found, and it's the one that's helping me the most. And there are other things that make it a lot easier these days as well. Like when I first started, digital art was always what I wanted to get into, so I had to get a graphics tablet. What I paid for my first graphics tablet, which is literally just, a piece of plastic that sits on my desk and I draw on, and then I have to look up at the monitor. So it's not like I'm drawing on a monitor, I'm drawing on a thing and then looking up at the monitor. You can buy those for like $50 Australian now. That's $25 US or thereabouts. And they are good. They are better than the one that I had. Okay, they're small. But for like $100 US, you can get one the same size as what I had that's better than the one I had that I paid $900 Australian for. It's like, $450, $500 US. Buh. And then most recently I paid, I think, about $900 again. No, I got it on special. Must have been cheaper than that. But I now have a Wacom Cintiq 16 from 3 or 4 years ago, so it's a bit old. But yeah, now I'm drawing on a monitor. Those are like, you can get a decent one of those. Maybe not a Wacom, but you can get a decent one of those in one of the other brands, which are still exceptional. Okay, Wacom really does a great job. They are fantastic. They are the pros' choice 9 times out of 10. You'll find very few pros that'll be like, if I can afford a Wacom, I'm not going to get a Wacom. If they can afford a Wacom, they generally buy a Wacom. But you can get other brands, and you can spend $300, $250, and get a monitor that you can draw on with several thousand, like 2,000 to 4,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, tilt sensitivity. So actually, like, tilting the pen this way means you'll get a different brush stroke than holding it upright. Or if you've got an iPad, is it the iPad stylus? Pretty sure the iPad stylus does it. Surface Pros do it. I think Surface Pros, the actual Surface is a Wacom Surface in the first place, and that's why they do that. Galaxy tablets do it. Like, there are just a plethora of options these days. Whereas back when I started, you got yourself a Wacom tablet, or you had nothing. Or you were drawing on paper and trying to use a scanner to scan it in, and then spending ages editing your pencil drawing to look a bit like it in Photoshop. And then, yeah, it took a long time. It was a horrible process. And amusingly, my original 98, might have been 99, my original HP desktop scanner, I only recycled that last year. I had that sitting in a cupboard for 2 decades. And I used it a lot, but it's not like I used it extensively. It was actually a present from a girlfriend. I think a Christmas, maybe a birthday present. I don't remember. But yeah, she got me a scanner, and I was like, oh wow, a scanner. And I spent ages using the scanner, and it was cool. And then technology moved on, and I didn't need one anymore because I got a graphics tablet. And then I just never got around to getting rid of it because, like, even back then, people people just used to throw TVs and things like that away. But even back then, I was aware that, like, no, there has to be a proper way to recycle this, surely. But the facilities just didn't exist readily. You had to call someone up, and you generally had to pay to do it. Whereas these days, Bunnings, Home Depot, I don't know what your equivalent is. What is it in the UK? Homebase. Yeah, it's just a big hardware company that's just everywhere. And these in Australia, Bunnings just has bins out the front of them that it's like, do you want to recycle your electronics? Dump it in one of our bins. It costs you nothing, and you'll feel better about yourself because you know it's going to the right place. And I do. And I finally, after years, got around to recycling that desktop scanner. The other thing I recycled was my Cambridge Soundworks speakers. And they were from the Sound Blaster Pro back when, was it 4.1? 4.1 was brand new. Like, you could get 4.1 on a computer. Most people didn't even have 4.1 sound in their lounge, in their home theaters. Like, people with expensive home theaters had one rear speaker and 2 front speakers. Like, no center channel, none of that stuff. And this had a rear left and a rear right and a front left and a front right and a sub. And they were Cambridge Soundworks speakers. And I used those speakers until probably 2017, 2018. And they were from the early 90s. So we're talking like 93, 94 they were from. Oh, no, maybe a bit later than that. But yeah, they were very, very, very old speakers. And exceptional. They were great. They were wow. So loud. So awesome. Yeah, I kept them for a long, long time. And I had them for so long, and they were in really good condition. And then one day, I was while I was living with some other friends, I had one of my many... extroverted friends, massive extroverts. You know what they're like. Introverts, why are we friends with them? But you're always friends with them. And yeah, he was having a party, and then he's like, oh, you've got some speakers. Can we just use your speakers? I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll bring my speakers out and you can use my speakers. And then I came back outside later, and for the first time in their life, those speakers were cranked to maximum. And he's like, oh, they're not loud enough. Why don't they go any louder? I'm like, dude, they're not supposed to be that loud in the first place. They're plenty loud. Your hearing's completely screwed from having had headphones on cranked to maximum for your entire life. Like, you can't hear anything anymore because you've destroyed your hearing. So you keep cranking things louder and louder and louder and destroying your hearing further because you can't actually hear it. You have no concept of the damage you're actually doing to your ear follicles. That's my opinion anyway. I don't think I said any of that, but I was just like, nah, that's as loud as they go. And yeah, that was the first time that they went so loud that the speakers actually damaged themselves. And from then on, they were tinny and horrible. And I had to get some different speakers. Glow squid. So that's water down there. Well, that's not as good. I mean, I can see a lot of good stuff from here. There's some lapis lazuli. There's some iron. And there's definitely a glow squid down there. But yeah, I am not... It's not going to be easy getting down there, is it? We'll see. We might be able to progress. Otherwise, we might have to do the bucket o' water trick and use that as a ladder for until we can build properly. But yeah, it does look like we've dug into an underwater cavern, which is less than ideal. Actually, we'll be moving towards this pillar, so this pillar might actually solve the problem and might get us far enough down. I'm going to put a torch here. And let's chuck one there. Yeah, how far can I reach? I can't really reach that. I can reach that. That's the next level down, isn't it? Excellent. So now I'll move this torch to, let's say, there. I'll break this one because it's in the way now. Now I should be able to reach that, and then I can bring that towards me. Is that? No, the stairs are over here, right? Doop doobie boo. This is the first real exciting thing in this Let's Play. Up until this point, it's just been me talking and digging holes. But now we're starting to see cool stuff. See the amazing cave in all its wonder and glory. Yeah, waterlogged cave. Not as good because I don't want to do swimming. There's a skeleton over there, though. Don't see diamonds or gold, so we haven't gotten far enough down. But we do have enough iron to do some things. I don't really know what I had in mind with the iron. Need iron for things, but I don't know whether I need it. Well, that's just a block of... gravel. So that's going to go away as soon as I touch it. Oh, gotta be careful with spiders, they can get up here. Panic. I think we're alright for a bit. Oh no, he's down there. Is he seeing me? Maybe he can't work out how to get up here, which would be ideal. They do have lots of limitations to their movement. I thought that was zombies. It's actually a glow squid. Put some torches down there so we can see. And apparently so the creeper can see me. Oh, there's a spider. He can come up here if he's smart enough to come up here. But they're not very smart, so chances are he won't be able to work this out. Be nice if I had a bow already. Could deal with these creepers before I got down there. Yeah. There is redstone, so I'm at least at the level where you should be finding gold already. And there is some dry land down there, just not much. And I might also have... No, this pillar goes all the way to the bottom by the looks of things. Which means I can sort of use it to continue building a staircase. Maybe until I get low enough to actually be able to reach the floor, at which point we should be fine, but I might not. I might be a bit shy. I think I'm going to be a bit shy. I think I'm pretty close, but not close enough. Yeah, I can't reach. And we're out of reachable pillar now because of... I suppose I could get rid of that, and that, and that, and then we'll be able to reach the pillar again. What did you get hurt from? Oh, you keep jumping off that like a silly person. Do it again. Oh. Didn't get hurt that time. Speaking softer because I'm in a big cave and it feels like you should. Despite this being a vidya game and that not really being a thing. Can I reach the floor yet? No. Oh, come on. Really? Oh, I could reach that one. So I can use that one to sort of bring a... Whoa! Really? Really? Oh, hell, he's getting really close. To bring a thing over here. That will actually give the spider a way up if he's smart. How smart are you? Come on. Work it out, you silly spider. Yeah, there you go. It's called pathing. It's really not that hard. I remember when mobs pathing used to be horrible and they would just not be able to do this. They would be completely incapable of this sort of thing. But yeah, it's not as bad as it used to be. Alright, I don't even have a shield. I could build a shield though. I do have the resources for shields. I have enough iron to do that. But now there are creepers and things down here. Let's light a bit of this up. I'm going to go build a shield and then I'll come back down. I do think I've got... No, I didn't bring the steps with me. I need to actually put the steps back on as well. Doop doop boo. I don't know why I didn't dig this out. Better dig this out because otherwise I'm gonna bang my head every time I come down here. Nobody wants that. Headbanging is for rock and rollers and occasionally the punk rock crowd, but not as much fun in Minecraft. What was I talking about before that happened? Probably drawing or something. Anyway. So look, I have not found enough. I've got the bug where there's a single mote of experience following me around and I just will not pick it up. Right. We do have some stuff, though, now. We've got things. Stuff and things. Things and stuff. It's always good to have things and stuff. We can probably start farming cows and sheep shortly. I was going to say, the wheat should be pretty close. The trader's here. Not like I have any emeralds for him, but the trader's here. Yeah, we'll keep that because that'll just be for breeding the first cows. So we should start making our first cow farm. Would have been nice if I'd just like gone into that thing and immediately found diamond. That would have been awesome. What the hell made that noise? Might have been a llama. Not familiar with all the noises that they make. Bam. A few torches. Not as much coal as I'd like. I mean, we're going to run out of that pretty quick. Is it daylight out there? No, it's not. So sleep. Oh, that might be the sound that he makes when he drinks an invisibility potion. Because the trader drinks an invisibility potion if it goes night and he's... Because he still sticks around for ages. It's just his thing. Okay, we didn't find diamonds, so we can't get a diamond pickaxe. And we haven't found lava, so we can't get a... obsidian, so we can't make an enchanting table this early. But yeah, those are things that I will eventually be getting to. Is that the trader or is that a witch making weird noises? Plenty of cows. Oh, hell. That's better than normal. Normally I just hear the hiss and the explosion. This time I actually got to see him coming. But there we go. We've gotten rid of that without dying, which is excellent. Oh, it is a witch! We came up to make a shield. I don't know whether shields help against witches, because they throw those potions. And I think the splash potion works regardless of whether you're shielded or not. They're kind of hard to kill. I've got no other armor on. I should have something on. I've only got 4 iron and I kind of need it. I'm just wondering what that was for a second, but that's ray tracing. Because my house must be aligned east to west, so the sun is like literally shining down like a god ray. And you'll be able to watch this slowly move. Oh, well actually no, it's... Now the sun will have actually moved over that edge. But yeah, you would have been able to watch it slowly move and stuff. But that was kind of an exceptional example of what ray tracing does. But yeah, whatever. We'll worry about it later. Where'd she go? Oh, there's the trader. I was right. There is a trader as well. Where are you going and why are you running? Oh, there we go. Did he have anything good? Not really. Packed ice is kind of cool. Things slide on packed ice. Can you see me? I want her to aggro so she comes closer. I don't want to have to go to her. I'm going to have to go to her. Yep, the poison still hurts. Oh, I'm gonna die. Damn you. Well, at least I'm right at home. Oh, it can't kill you. Must be easy. I imagine that if this wasn't easy, it probably would kill me. So I'll wait for it to wear off before we eat anything. There we go. Then I can eat. Then I will recover some hearts before that food runs out and I'll have to eat again. And she didn't drop anything good either. I just got experience from that. That's annoying. I was really hoping she was going to drop something good. Yeah, they're much easier to deal with a bow, and I do not have a bow yet. Ah, we were looking for iron, and there was iron right here. Would you credit it? Anyway, that is actually going to be a good stopping point for today's episode. We've sort of dug down kind of as far as we can without sort of getting ourselves in too much trouble. We've reached a cave level that is very, very full of water. I do believe that most of this cave systems underneath here were subterranean. I was hoping to sort of maybe find something else, or maybe some diamond or something. I will definitely have to be careful when making my staircase down that I waterproof everything. But yeah, maybe we'll find some ores close to the surface of the water so I don't have to do too much deep diving. I've kind of lit this area up now, so it's not light level 0, a lot of it. So a lot of it will not spawn mobs anymore. But some of it will. You can hear there's definitely a skeleton around here somewhere. There he is. But yeah, we've done that. We've got a basic source of initial food, which is just going to be wheat for bread. Started. In the next episode, we will definitely be adding a cow farm for improved food and start gathering the leather that we're going to need. I'll also then be making a sugarcane farm because we need that paper to make them books. And then we'll go looking for diamond and lava, with which we will make our first crafting enchanting table. And then will be the long haul to make enough bookshelves to do high-level enchanting. The search for lapis lazuli, which is kind of over because there was some lapis that I could see in that cave that I dug into. Yeah, typical Minecraft things. We will be progressing further and further and further. So I didn't really show off much of the wild update. I basically showed you a frog. I've got nothing to freaking eat. Should I eat some apples? It's not like I can't get more apples. I'm going to eat some apples. Can always get more apples. I've only got 3 apples. Well, that's a bit disappointing. Could eat rotten flesh. Oops. Ah. But yeah, there are frogs. I heard a frog. Where's the frog? Here, froggy, froggy, froggy. Actually heard a slime as well, and I didn't. Here's the frogs. I don't know what happened to the slime. It despawned or something before I could come above ground. But yeah, frogs, they do stuff. Somehow you have to feed them magma cubes. I don't know how that's done. Do you have to take the frog into the nether? How do you get them a magma cube? Now somewhere near here is the mangroves, but I don't know where, so I could spend ages running around to try and show you and never actually find the damn mangroves. I really should have paid more attention when I was in creative. I just know that this swamp connects to a mangrove swamp somewhere far distant as well. Yeah, not the ideal food, rotten flesh. Now, as I said, this resource pack has not been upgraded to include textures for the mangrove, so it looks less cool. The RTX still works in there; it just doesn't look as good as this does. But yeah, I don't know where it is. Wow, is that a big? It's not very big. It is a crack, though. One of them crack caves. Yeah, it's around here somewhere. So at some point I will be showing that off as well. We may or may not find the skulk. The Warden's Cavern. Oh, there's another cave. Could explore caves and just see what we find in caves. We might get diamonds that way. It's a very good way to get diamonds these days, is to just find a cave and head on down. But yeah, you don't have to do it. There is a abandoned gate there as well. Also, one of those villager buildings has a crap load of obsidian in it, so more than enough to repair the gate. So we could get our obsidian that way to make our enchanting table, now that I think about it. And I'm going to just grab a few pumpkins while I'm over here, because... Pumpkin! Can you just eat a pumpkin? No. I guess you have to make something out of the pumpkin to eat a pumpkin. But yeah, pumpkins are pretty good to farm. Can do things with pumpkins. Where the hell is this mangrove? No. Well, it's here somewhere. We'll find it eventually. Yeah, no idea. It's around. Ray tracing is beautiful. It definitely looks better than non-ray traced Minecraft. VR Minecraft is also sick. Like, it's so good to play VR Minecraft. There's a decent hole into the world. I have explored this one. This one eventually becomes underwater as well. It's not underwater to begin with, but eventually you run out of things that aren't underwater, and then if you go underwater, it just continues for ages underwater. Yeah, VR Minecraft is amazing. Like, I was not expecting it to be that cool. And it's relatively easy to use and play as well. Like, I recently put Minecraft on my phone or put the trial on my phone, and I was like, I wouldn't mind having this elsewhere when I'm out and about and I've, got to wait an hour or half an hour for something. I could just play some Minecraft. Because I'm honestly running out of podcasts to listen to. There's not a lot of podcasts that I subscribe to, and I'm running out of the ones that I am subscribed to. yeah, so I put Minecraft on my phone, and it's just I've been a mouse and keyboard guy for so long. It's just too cumbersome. I can't play Minecraft like that. It's too hard. It's so hard. It's prohibitively annoying. So yeah, that's not going to be something that I buy. But I tried the VR one, and using the controllers and stuff is great. It's very intuitive. It works really well. I didn't get motion sickness in it. You might have a different experience with that. I haven't got motion sick in anything except Half-Life Alyx when I played that without teleporting. Actually just walking around, that gave me a bit of motion sickness, but it wasn't that bad either. But yeah, Minecraft in VR was great. And I don't remember having to buy it or anything. I think it just connected to my Microsoft account and went, well, you already own Minecraft. Here you go. Here's Minecraft in VR. And I was just able to play Minecraft in VR. But anyway, that was excellent. So many different versions of Minecraft, and most of them are really, really good. Who knew? Anyway, that is going to do it, guys. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this inaugural The Wild Update stream. This will be a Let's Play series where I continue to play The Wild Update and hopefully progress as far into the game as I can get before we get stuck, which I think is going to be Nether Fortress territory. We'll see. Yeah, you'll see how I play, the things that I do to survive. You've already seen, look, tree farm. Don't need to come above ground once you've got a tree farm and a farm, because now I have food and wood, and I can do everything without ever going back above to the surface, which doesn't mean I don't go back up to the surface. It just means I could stay below the surface forever if I wanted to. Yeah, other than that, hopefully there will be more actual interesting content coming. I do have other things that I intend to play. Phasmophobia, I'm going to be playing more of that soon. The update for that is going to take longer than I thought. I thought it was days away, but no, it looks like it's probably weeks away. Possibly weeks away, we shall see. Yeah, what else is worth looking out for on the channel? I just fixed my drone, so chances are there'll be a new drone video soon. Like I said, I've been progressing with drawing, so I might do a stream where I just do some drawing and explain what I learnt from Mark Burnett, and then demonstrate how I practice what I've learnt and continue to practice what I've learnt, because if you don't practice it, you're not going to get better at it. So yeah, if any of that interests you, absolutely check back in. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more of my content, because it makes it nice and easy to find the channel, and then it's all in one place. And definitely hit that notification bell, because it's super random when I go live. I work a weird schedule. I don't know when I'm going to stream, so I don't have a streaming schedule. I just stream when I stream. If you'd like to chat with us, jump on over to Twitch. Like I said, that's twitch.tv/Quivs_AU, because I'm the Australian Quivs. Yeah, there's a chat box over there. Over on Twitch, the one that helps me out the most is if you hit the follow. And if you'd like to change your notification settings to get a notification when I go live, you do that through your personal settings, where you will find individual settings for each channel that you are subscribed or you follow. Other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.